the sun's ancient heat, secrets of our cosmic furnace. For as long as humanity has looked upward, the sun has ruled our skies, a blazing monarch of light and warmth, older than life itself. Its fire has watched over Earth through ages of ice and bloom, empire and ruin, silence and song. Every sunrise whispers an ancient truth, that before the first creature stirred, before the first ocean shimmered blue beneath the heavens, a single star was born, and from its inferno everything began. Imagine a fire so vast it could cradle worlds, a furnace so ancient its embers predate every mountain, every ocean, every breath we take. This is the story of that fire, the sun, not as a simple star, but as a living cosmic forge, whose heat has sculpted the destiny of our planet for billions of years. Tonight, we travel backward through time, into the heart of the sun itself. We will trace the birth of its first flame, the hidden alchemy of its light, the mysteries of its storms, and the far future when this great furnace will dim and fade. This is not just the story of a star, it is the story of us. For every heartbeat, every green leaf, every drop of life, all are born from the same ancient heat, the ever-present fire. Look toward the sun, not with your eyes, but with your mind. Imagine its presence fading, the light gone, the warmth extinguished. In that instant, all life on earth would fall silent. The seas would freeze, the air itself turning still and brittle. For without the sun, there is no dawn, no rhythm, no existence. Yet how rarely we stop to wonder what this fiery constant truly is. We see it as a gentle glow that rises each morning, but it is far from gentle. It is a sphere of nuclear fury over 1,000,000 times larger than our planet, where matter and energy collide in unending violence. Its heart burns at 15 million degrees Celsius, a pressure so great that atoms are crushed together, fusing into new forms, releasing the very light that nourishes our world. And yet, that ferocity is perfectly balanced. The sun neither collapses under its own gravity, nor bursts apart from its own rage. Instead, it has achieved a harmony, a cosmic equilibrium that has endured for nearly 5 billion years. This perfect balance is the reason we exist. It is the rhythm of all life, steady, constant, and enduring beyond imagination. The sun's light travels across the emptiness of space. 8 minutes of journeying through nothingness to reach our eyes, our forests, our oceans. Every ray of sunlight that warms your skin tonight began in the sun's core thousands of centuries ago, born from the fusion of hydrogen into helium, drifting outward through layers of incandescent plasma, before breaking free into the vacuum of the cosmos. Each photon carries within it the memory of time, the signature of creation itself. And every moment it touches the earth, it renews that ancient bond between star and planet, between the fire and the life it sustains. This is the sun, eternal, restless, and alive. Its story began long before Earth, long before the first spark of biology. It is the oldest storyteller in our sky. The sun's fiery birth and evolution. 4.5 billion years ago, there was no sun. Only a vast, cold cloud of gas and dust drifting silently through the Milky Way, a remnant of ancient stars that had lived and died long before our own. Within this cloud, gravity began to stir, a slow, invisible pull that drew matter inward, grain by grain, particle by particle. the cloud began to collapse. As it fell upon itself, it spun faster, a cosmic whirlpool forming a dense, glowing heart at its center. That heart grew hotter, its temperature rising beyond comprehension. Pressure mounted. Hydrogen atoms, forced so tightly together, began to merge, and in that instant, a new kind of fire was born. It was the dawn of the sun. A young star ignited, blazing with fusion, the universe's ultimate alchemy. Light burst forth into the dark, and the newborn sun began to shine, sweeping the remaining dust outward to form a family of worlds. Among them, one small planet began to orbit at a perfect distance, close enough to feel the sun's warmth, yet far enough to endure its power. That planet was Earth. From this moment, the fates of the sun and earth became forever entwined. Every drop of water, every breath of air, every spark of life that would someday rise here, all would depend upon that singular cosmic event, the birth of our star. Over the ages, the sun settled into its rhythm, a main sequence star, stable and bright. Its heart fused hydrogen into helium in a steady dance, releasing energy that streamed outward in all directions. That energy became sunlight, the power that would sculpt worlds and awaken life. And through all this time, for billions of years, it has burned without faltering. The same sun that shone upon the first oceans still shines upon us now. The same furnace that warmed the earliest microbes continues to light our modern sky. Its flame, constant, unwavering, bridges every chapter of Earth's story. Cosmic alchemy, fueling life on Earth. From the moment the sun's first light touched the newborn Earth, a delicate dance began, a silent exchange between fire and stone, light and water, energy and life. For billions of years, this invisible dialogue has continued, every sunrise renewing the pact between star and planet. The sun is not merely a source of light, it is the architect of life itself. Its heat stirs the oceans, its energy powers the winds, and its golden rays set the rhythms of every living creature. Without it, Earth would be a frozen relic, a silent world drifting through eternal night. But because of it, there is motion, warmth, and breath. The story of life is the story of sunlight transformed. Every tree, every blade of grass, every coral reef and meadow exists because of a process that began nearly 4 billion years ago, photosynthesis. Deep in the shallow seas of an ancient Earth, the first microorganisms learned to harness the sun's energy. They captured light, split water, and released oxygen, the breath of a new world. These microscopic alchemists reshaped the planet, filling the skies with the gas that would one day sustain every living thing that breathes. From those tiny architects of oxygen came the great unfolding, forests that reached toward the heavens, creatures that roamed beneath them, civilizations that rose in the light of dawn. And all of it, every leaf, every lung, every living cell, is powered by the same fusion-born energy that began in the sun's core. The light you see today filtering through clouds or dancing across an ocean began its journey hundreds of thousands of years ago within the sun itself. It passed through dense layers of plasma, scattering, colliding, and radiating until, at last, it escaped into space. In 8 short minutes, it crossed the cold gulf between the sun and Earth, a journey of 93 million miles, and in that instant, it became warmth, color, and life. That energy powers the planet's great cycles. It drives the wings that sculpt deserts and carry storms across continents. It warms the oceans, guiding currents that shape the migration of whales and the bloom of plankton. It lifts water from seas into clouds, then sends it falling again as rain, renewing the rivers and feeding the forests. This endless circulation, from vapor to rain, from seed to flower, is the heartbeat of the living earth. And at its core lies one truth: the sun is the pulse behind it all. Yet this harmony is fragile. Too much solar energy and ice melts, seas rise and climates shift. Too little and the planet falls into deep freeze. Across the ages, Earth's climate has danced to the sun's subtle variations, ice ages and warm eras, droughts and floods, all whispering of that balance between cosmic flame and planetary life. Even slight changes in the sun's rhythm can echo across the planet, altering harvests, ecosystems, and even the fate of civilizations. Ancient cultures sensed this power long before they understood it. They built monuments aligned with the sun's path: Stonehenge, the pyramids, temples across the Andes and Nile, all reaching toward the sky, paying homage to the giver of life. To them the sun was divine, a god of fire and renewal. To us it is the same, though now we see its divinity written in physics, its miracles explained by fusion and light. Still, the awe remains, because no matter how deeply science probes its secrets, the sun's presence continues to feel sacred. Every leaf that unfurls, every tide that rolls, every morning that dawns, all are testaments to an ancient alchemy that began in the heart of a star. And though the sun seems eternal, it is not. Its power endures on a human timescale, yes, but like all things in the universe, it is bound by time. Its energy, while vast beyond measure, has a story with a beginning, and someday an end. But before we glimpse its final chapter, we must first look deeper into its mysteries, the secrets still unfolding in its fiery heart. Because the sun, though familiar, is not fully known. It hides storms of unimaginable force, eruptions that can shake the fabric of space itself, and winds that whisper across the solar system. To understand these celestial tempests is to step closer to the truth of our star and to the power that continues to shape our world each passing moment. Solar mysteries and modern discoveries. For all the centuries we've lived beneath its light, the sun still keeps its secrets. We rise with it, we live by it, and we measure our days and destinies in its glow. Yet only in recent times have we begun to truly see it for a living, breathing star, a cosmic engine of endless fire and unimaginable complexity. Beneath the surface that seems so smooth and golden from afar, chaos reigns. The sun is a world of storms, a roiling ocean of plasma, where magnetic fields twist and snap like invisible thunderbolts. Every second it churns with violence beyond comprehension. Flares the size of planets, waves of energy that could swallow Earth whole. These tempests are born deep within the sun's core, where the dance of charged particles and magnetism weaves an intricate, ever-changing web. Through this web, invisible threads of power rise to the surface, shaping the solar atmosphere into patterns of blazing loops and dark scars. We call them sunspots, cooler regions where tangled magnetic lines pierce the surface. To the eye, they seem calm shadows on a golden face, but each one is a wound of unimaginable force, a doorway into the sun's restless soul. When those magnetic fields twist too tightly, they snap, releasing energy equivalent to billions of nuclear bombs in a heartbeat. These are solar flares, flashes of brilliance that erupt with pure radiation, flooding space with light and charged particles. Sometimes even greater storms follow, coronal mass ejections, vast bubbles of plasma hurled into space at millions of kilometers per hour. When these solar tempests reach Earth, they rattle the planet's magnetic field. We see their beauty in the auroras that dance across polar skies, ribbons of green and violet that shimmer like cosmic curtains. But behind that beauty lies danger. A strong enough solar storm could disrupt satellites, cripple power grids, and distort the very signals that link our world together. It has happened before, and it will happen again. In 1859, a massive solar flare struck Earth, the Carrington event. Telegraph wires sparked with fire. The skies glowed red as far south as the Caribbean. If such a storm struck today, it could darken entire continents, silencing the digital heartbeat of civilization for weeks. And so humanity watches the sun closely, not only for wonder, but for warning. In our quest to understand it, we have reached out into the inferno itself. The Parker Solar Probe, launched in 2018, dives closer to the sun than any spacecraft before it. It soars through the sun's corona, the ghostly outer atmosphere that stretches millions of kilometers into space, where temperatures soar to over 1,000,000 degrees. Its heat shield glows white-hot as it samples the solar wind, collecting whispers from the sun's breath. Each pass brings us closer to the truth. How does the sun's heat escape its surface? Why does its corona burn even hotter than the layers below? What invisible forces shape this eternal fire? Alongside it, the solar orbiter peers through ultraviolet eyes, mapping the sun's poles and charting its magnetic cycles. From these missions, we have begun to glimpse the patterns that govern our star's heartbeat, an 11-year rhythm of calm and fury, expansion and rest. When the sun enters its active phase, the number of sunspots and flares increases. When it sleeps, the skies grow quieter. This solar cycle has continued for millennia, shaping Earth's climate and even history itself. Some scientists believe that small variations in solar activity once triggered the Little Ice Age, a centuries-long chill that gripped Europe between the 14th and 19th centuries. Others see evidence of the sun's moods reflected in tree rings, ice cores, and ancient records. Our star, though constant, has seasons of its own. It breathes in cycles, just as Earth does, just as we do. But the greatest mystery of all lies not in the sun's storms or rhythms, but in its power. For centuries, humanity has dreamed of capturing even a fraction of its energy to bring the sun's fusion to Earth. Inside the sun, gravity does what no machine on our planet can. It forces atoms so close that they merge, releasing vast energy. This process, nuclear fusion, is nature's ultimate engine. And for decades, scientists have sought to replicate it. In laboratories around the world, from France's ITER reactor to experimental facilities in the United States, China, and Japan, humanity is building its own miniature suns. Vast chambers where hydrogen plasma is confined by magnetic fields, heated to temperatures 10 times hotter than the sun's core. For a fleeting moment, these man-made stars come alive, glowing with the same power that fuels the cosmos. We are, in a sense, learning to borrow the sun's flame. If we succeed, fusion could provide nearly limitless clean energy, mirroring the cosmic process that sustains life itself. No pollution, no carbon, no waste, only light. The sun's gift, reborn by human hands. But the sun still guards its deepest truths. Even now, as we peer through telescopes and send probes into its fire, mysteries remain. How does it generate its magnetic fields? Why does its surface erupt in rhythmic patterns across centuries? What unseen forces connect it to the vastness of the galaxy itself? Each answer we uncover reveals more questions, a humbling reminder that even the most familiar object in our sky remains one of the most enigmatic. For the sun is not just a burning ball of gas. It is a vast, living system, pulsing, evolving, and breathing across cosmic time. It speaks in the language of light, and we, after countless ages of watching, are only beginning to understand the words. And yet, the more we learn, the more we realize how fragile our relationship truly is. For as much as the sun gives, it can also take away. Its power is eternal only in human measure, but in the scale of the cosmos, even stars must one day grow old. The sun is not immortal. Its fire, though seemingly infinite, will one day begin to fade. And in that fading lies the next and final chapter of its great journey, a transformation that will reshape our solar system and perhaps erase the world that has forever looked up to it in awe. The sun's long farewell. The sun feels eternal. Every morning it rises, steady, golden, unchanging, and for all of human history, that constancy has defined our sense of time. The sun has watched the birth of continents, the shifting of seas, the rise and fall of empires, and the quiet persistence of life in every form imaginable. Its warmth has nurtured forests and deserts alike, whispering the promise of renewal with every dawn. To those who came before us, it was divine. Ancient Egyptians called it Re, the eternal god of rebirth. The Aztecs named it Teneshu, the fire that demanded reverence and sacrifice. Even the earliest humans, gathered around their first flames, understood something sacred in its power, a reflection of life and death intertwined. And though science has stripped away its mythology, it has not diminished its wonder. We now know the sun not as a god, but as something equally profound, a living engine of the universe, one link in a chain of cosmic creation that binds every star, planet, and life form. Yet even this titan of fire has limits. The sun, like all things born of the cosmos, carries the seed of its own ending. Right now it is in its most stable era, a main sequence star, burning with perfect balance. Each second, hundreds of millions of tons of hydrogen fuse into helium in its core, releasing energy that surges outward and spills into the vastness of space. That energy has sustained life on Earth for nearly 5 billion years, and will continue to do so for billions more. But deep inside, change is slowly unfolding. Every atom of hydrogen fused into helium tips the balance ever so slightly. The sun's core grows heavier, denser, hotter. Fusion must work harder to push back against gravity's endless pull. For now the struggle is hidden, but one day that balance will shatter. As hydrogen runs low, the sun will falter. Gravity will press inward, crushing the core tighter and tighter until new reactions ignite. Helium will begin to fuse into heavier elements, carbon, and oxygen, while the outer layers expand, ballooning outward into the vastness of space. And in that transformation, the sun will change beyond recognition. The sky of the far future will blaze with a red, swollen giant, the red giant sun. Its fiery atmosphere will stretch far beyond its current reach, its brilliance reddening the heavens. From the surface of a dying earth, the sun will appear enormous, filling half the sky, drowning the world in a crimson glow. But by then, Earth will already be lost. As the sun expands, oceans will boil away into vapor. The seas will hiss into the sky, forming clouds of steam that dissolve into space. The air will burn, stripping away the atmosphere molecule by molecule. Continents will melt and flow like rivers of fire, and mountains will crumble into vaporous storms of stone. The ground will glow beneath the fury of the sun's dying breath. And still, the transformation will continue. Venus will be gone. Mercury already consumed. Earth may survive for a time, its orbit altered, its bones scorched, but soon even the crust will liquefy, swallowed in the expanding inferno. The world that once teemed with life, forests, and oceans will become a ghost, a molten echo spiraling within the heart of a dying star. Yet death in the universe is never an ending. It is rebirth. As the sun's outer layers swell, they will no longer be held by gravity. They will drift outward into space, forming great waves of glowing gas, clouds that shimmer in hues of emerald violet. Each tendril of light will stretch across billions of kilometers, a luminous veil wrapping the dark of space. Astronomers will one day call it a planetary nebula, though it has little to do with planets. It is a cosmic chrysalis, the final radiant breath of a star that once gave life. At its center will remain a heart, small, fierce, and white-hot. This will be the white dwarf sun, a remnant no larger than Earth, but weighing as much as the entire solar system's past glory. Its surface will burn at 1,000,000 degrees, shining like a diamond adrift in shadow. It will no longer fuse atoms. It will simply glow, radiating the last of its stored heat into the silent abyss. Billions of years will pass. The light will dim. The white dwarf will cool, fading into darkness. And finally, it will become a black dwarf, a star's corpse, invisible against the night, its energy spent, its story told. But in that final silence, something extraordinary will endure. Every element forged in the sun's life and death, carbon, oxygen, iron, will drift into the interstellar sea. Those atoms, once part of the sun's blazing body, will see new clouds of dust and gas. They will mix with remnants of other dying stars, coalescing once again under gravity's patient pull. And from that cloud, new suns will ignite. New worlds will form. And perhaps in some distant future, new beings will gaze upward at their own dawn and wonder, just as we do now, at the warmth of a star that gave them life. In that way, the sun never truly dies. Its essence, scattered among the stars, will live on in countless forms, in comets and planets, and moons and oceans, and living things yet unborn. Every heartbeat, every breath that has ever existed, owes its existence to that eternal chain of stellar birth and death. We are, in every sense, children of fire. Even now, the light of the sun carries whispers of ancient stars, fragments of long-dead giants that once blazed across the universe before our sun was born. And one day our star's ashes will drift to join theirs, completing the circle of cosmic inheritance. Life in the grandest sense is the universe remembering itself. And here we are, on a small blue world, suspended in that cosmic story, living beneath the warmth of a star that still burns bright in its middle age. We live in a fleeting but perfect moment, between the chaos of creation and the silence of extinction. The sunlight that touches your skin today is a gift from a process that began before humanity, before the earth, before time as we know it. A photon born in the sun's core tens of thousands of years ago now completes its journey in the blink of your eye. That light, that warmth, it is your inheritance from the cosmos. It is proof that we are part of something vast and continuous. The sun's long farewell will not come in our lifetime, nor in any that follow us. But its story reminds us of our place in the great chain of existence, fleeting, fragile, and yet connected to eternity. When its light finally fades eons from now, nothing of our world may remain. Yet in some distant corner of the galaxy, atoms that were once part of our sun will burn again, lighting new skies, warming new oceans, giving birth to, and perhaps somewhere far away, those new beings will look up and wonder at their own sun, never knowing that within its fire burns the memory of ours. The universe is endless in its cycles, infinite in its renewal. From the ashes of stars come worlds. From the warmth of suns come souls. And though every star must someday fall silent, the light never truly dies. It merely changes form. So when you stand beneath the sun and feel its heat on your face, remember, you are touching history older than time. A warmth born from the heart of creation itself. You're made of its remnants, illuminated by its fire, destined someday to return to its dust. This is the story of the sun. A story of life, death, and rebirth. A story of light that will outlive all memory, and of a cosmic furnace whose ancient heat shaped everything we have ever known. The sun's ancient heat still burns, patient, powerful, and eternal in its purpose. It has watched the universe for billions of years, kindling worlds, creating beauty, and reminding all who see it that even in the vast silence of space, there is life, there is fire, there is continent. For as long as the sun endures, its light will tell the same tale, of beginnings and endings intertwined, of worlds born from flame, and of the unending rhythm of the cosmos itself. The sun, our star, our origin, our destiny, the ancient heart of our cosmic furnace, forever burning through time. And so, as our journey through the sun's story draws to an end, we return to the same light that began it all, a light that has never faltered, not once, through the ages of Earth's history. It has seen the birth of continents and the fall of empires. It has shone on creatures that no longer walk the earth and on civilizations that have long turned to dust. And yet its warmth endures, ancient, familiar, eternal. For billions of years the sun has been more than a star. It has been our silent companion, our constant guide, the giver of every dawn and the keeper of every shadow. Every leaf that grows, every wave that crashes, every heartbeat that ever was, all trace their origins to that single flame suspended in the heavens. We have built our calendars by its cycles, our myths around its glory, and our lives beneath its radiance. From the first spark of human awareness, we have looked upward and seen meaning in its fire. The ancients called it divine, a chariot of gods, a living spirit in the sky. Today we know it as a sphere of plasma, bound by gravity, ruled by fusion. But even now, in all our understanding, it still holds a kind of magic, because science can describe the sun, but wonder makes us feel it. Its light, after all, is the same light that touches the farthest reaches of our solar system, the same glow that paints Saturn's rings, that glints on frozen comets, that warms the dark moons of Jupiter. It is the thread that connects us to the cosmos. Every atom in your body has known the sun's touch. Every breath you take carries oxygen once born in the heart of stars like it. We are not separate from the sun. We are a continuation of it, fragments of its energy, echoes of its fire. Our story is its story. When it fades, so too will the last trace of the world it made. And yet, in its fading, it will give birth again, scattering the seeds of new creation across the void. This is the truth written into the language of the universe. Nothing truly ends. Even as the sun's long farewell approaches, its light will outlive it, traveling endlessly across the cosmic sea, reaching places unseen, unimagined. Each ray is a whisper of history, a pulse of time itself. So remember, as you watch the next sunrise, you are witnessing a miracle billions of years in the making. That golden horizon, that gentle warmth, it is the heartbeat of our galaxy, the oldest fire we know. It is a reminder that we live, breathe, and dream in the glow of eternity. The sun's ancient heat still burns, not just in the sky above, but in the spark within us all. Because we, like everything that ever was, are children of the stars. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.